series of events today. We have two special events that we're planning for this weekend. What are they? What is it that's bringing us here today? We have a collective of people who are coming here from families, from a family celebration, as well as we have food here, which is bringing people together from all different backgrounds. So we have, as I alluded to, a JNF Shabbat that we're going to recognize, Israel's Yom HaAtzmaut, and we also are recognizing tomorrow a very special day. What is it? Jack Sadie? Don't jump at once. Yes. Yes. We're welcoming you into the Jewish community as full-fledged adults with all of those responsibilities of the mitzvot I know you're looking forward to. So I'm looking forward to welcoming you with our community tomorrow as well. So on that note, we're going to start our service with page 6 of our Siddurim with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barhuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We now turn to page 7 of our Siddurim. I'd like to invite up the Mushkol family at this time to come together as a family to light our Shabbos candles. We turn to page 7. Jack, Sadie, Marnie, and Adam all will be leading us in the Sabbath candle lessons. Oh, Robin's joining too.
Yeah. Okay, you ready? Come, let us welcome Shabbat.
May its radiance illuminate our hearts.
Light is a symbol of the divine.
Eternal is my light and my salvation.
Light is a symbol of the divine within us.
The human spirit is the light of the eternal.
Light is a symbol of the divine law.
For the mitzvah is a lamp and the Torah a light.
Light is a symbol of Israel's mission.
I, the Eternal, have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chad l'knei shel Shabbat.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat joy.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat peace.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat holiness.
Amen. We turn to page 9 for Siddurim with the Chaydoidi. L'chaydoidi li'graka la'yadadai yadadai yadadai b'nei Shabbat Nekabela L'chaydoidi li'graka la'yadadai yadadai yadadai b'nei Shabbat Nekabela Shalor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmi'anu echad nuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad Lishem otziferet v'litzilah L'chaydoidi li'graka la'yadadai yadadai yadadai b'nei Shabbat Nekabela L'chaydoidi li'graka la'yadadai yadadai yadadai b'nei Shabbat Nekabela likrat Shabbat lehu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesuka sof ma'asa b'matra tehila L'chaydoidi li'graka la'yadadai yadadai yadadai b'nei Shabbat Nekabela L'chaydoidi li'graka la'yadadai yadadai yadadai b'nei Shabbat Nikabela, hi ori, kiba ore, kumi ori. Ori, shir daveri, kavod Adonai, alai nehila, lechai dodili, grakala, yadada, b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela, lechai dodili, grakala, yadada, b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela, now we face the entrance or exit of our building as we welcome in the Shabbos bride. Boi b'shalom atzeret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am sigula, boi kala, lechai dodi likra kala, yadadai b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela, lechai dodi likra kala, yadadai b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela. We remain standing on page 11 of our Sidurims for the Hatzi Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkedash shemei rabba, v'yamad yivrach yivretei v'yamlech malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yoymechon u'chayetecho beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yamaru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach, Le'olam olam me'almaya yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitzadar, v'yitzaleh, v'yitzalal, shemedi kudishal rechu, le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma, v'yamaru, amen. Page 12, we join together for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach le'olam va'ed. Page 13, we join together with the English translation for creation. Eternal God, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, not let your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who brings on the evening. Page 14, we join together at the bottom of the page. With eternal love you have loved your people, the house of Israel. Torah and commandments, statutes and judgments you've taught us. Therefore, O Eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we would discuss your statutes and rejoice in the words of your Torah and your commandments forever. For they are our lives and they lengthen our days, and we will meditate upon them day and night. May you never remove your love from us forever and ever. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who loves God's people, Israel. Page 15, we join together for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated for the V'ahavta on page 16 of our Sidurims. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'tzivarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al vavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shitecha bebeitecha u'v'letecha v'derech v'shachbecha u'v'komecha u'kshartam li'od al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, Adonai Elohim, Amen. Page 17, we join together for a responsive reading. Eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares.
Let them beat their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation. Let them study war no more.
You shall not hate another in your heart. You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Let the stranger be in your midst, to you as the native, for you were once strangers in the land of Egypt.
From the house of bondage we went forth to freedom, so that all be free to sing with joy.
Page 18, we join together from Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha, Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha, Nedar B'Kodesh, Norati Lot, Osei Feleh, Machutecha Rubanecha, Bokeyan Lifnei Moshe, Ze Eli Anu V'Amru, Adonai Yimlo Leolam Vahed. ונאמר כי יפרע אדוני את יעקב וליום החזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. Page 19, we join together for the responsive reading. Cause us, O eternal our God, to lie down in peace and to awaken us each morning to life renewed with strength. Spread over us the holy shelter of your peace.
Help us to order our lives by your counsel and lead us in the paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow.
Curb also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going out and our coming into life with peace from this time forth and forever.
Blessed are you, O Eternal, whose holy shelter of peace is spread over us, over God, God's people, Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Page 20, we join together for Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. B'nei u'b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat le'doretam berit olam. Ki sheish yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. We now rise on page 21 for the Amidah prayer. Tefillah begins on page 21. Adonai sefatai titahu v'yagite hilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imateinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur V'Hadorah, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chasei avot b'yima'ot, u'mevii geula lifnei b'neihem, leman shemo b'ahava, melech ozer u'mashiach u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham v'yizrat Sarah. Atah gibor gelam Adonai, mechayei hakol atara v'hoshia. Mari Hata'al, Mekalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Omekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mikamocha Baal Gilurot, Umido Melach, Melech Mimit, Umechayei, Umasmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lechachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shim hakadosh v'koshim b'chol yom, Yahalelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We daven silently until page 29, where we will join together for Oseh Shalom. After you have completed davening, you may be seated. So we're going to join together on page 29 of our Sidurims for Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom Bibroma, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yemeru, Amen. In just a moment, I'm going to be inviting Ann Kroll, our guest speaker today, up to the Bima, and she will be sharing with us some information about the Jewish National Fund. How many of you are vaguely familiar, I hope many of you, of what the Jewish National Fund are and what they provide for? So I see a couple of hands. It's maybe a fair majority. It looks like a lot of people are kind of being timid in the way they're raising their hands. Fair majority of our people here are familiar with some of the important work that the JNF do. If you are familiar with also the boxes that we customarily have in almost every synagogue, they all have the JNF logo on it, and many of the time our bar mitzvah students tie their projects in specifically to the JNF in planting trees in Israel. In the wake of October 7th, Ann Cole had reached out to me to tell me a little bit about some of the very important work that the JNF are doing in Israel at this time. And as an Israeli citizen, as a rabbi, and as a Jew, I thought it was very important to bring them here today to share with us some of the important work that they're doing. So with that, I'd like to invite Ann Cole to come on and speak to our community.
Thank you, Rabbi. So I will speak to you, but I do want to tell you what I'm going to speak to you about is just one small portion of what JNF does. And I invite you after Shabbat to go onto their website and see all of the things that they do. This is just one portion of it. Shabbat Shalom. I would like to dedicate my Devar Torah in memory of the 364 civilians that were killed by Hamas at the Supernova Sukkot gathering on October 7, 2023, and in honor of those that were wounded. Yesterday was Yom HaTzmaut, Israel's Independence Day, a day of great celebration since 1948. Across Israel, events and celebrations take place. It's a real family day filled with barbecues, picnics, parades, and fireworks. Sound familiar? Very much equal to our 4th of July here in America. So I began to reminisce about what the 4th of July was like when I was a little girl back in the 1960s in New Brunswick. You see, I'm a Jew by choice and grew up Italian Catholic, and it was the only holiday that we had only American food. Even on Thanksgiving, there was always lasagna or ravioli to go along with our turkey. My mom would make what I thought was her world-famous homemade macaroni salad and potato salad. Well, it was famous in my world, right? We would also have hot dogs and hamburgers with all the fixings on our small, round barbecue grill using the dusty charcoal briquettes. My dad would start the fire with lighter fluid. How could you ever forget the smell of lighter fluid? We would then go and watch the fireworks in Milltown. I looked forward to it every year, especially the grand finale. Then I began to think about the hostages and their families, especially the children, and what their memories would be of Yom HaTzmaut. Would their memories be of the fun-filled times they used to have, or would they be permanently scarred after the events of October 7th? I began to specifically think about Noam Orr, and I did bring a picture of the family. Noam Orr, age 17, and Alma Orr, age 13, from Kibbutz Be'eri, 3 miles from Gaza, who were taken hostage by Hamas and then released in November. They were taken along with their father, Dror Orr, age 49, who is now confirmed dead. The family was forced out of their safe room as terrorists set the house on fire. A neighbor witnessed the terrorists grabbing and taking them hostage. Days later, the body of Yonat Or, age 50, Jor's wife and mother of Noam and Alma, was recovered. Yonat Or was an entrepreneur who created Ayuna, her own carpentry and furniture line in Be'eri, which had earned national accolades and made her a well-known name in the Israeli decor world. A native of Be'eri, her father once ran the local carpentry shop, and she grew up amid the wood shavings before continuing the family tradition herself. Will Noam and Alma remember the sounds of the fireworks or the sounds of the sirens going off and trying to run into the family safe room before the terrorists broke into their home? Will they remember and picture the sky beautifully lighting up from the fireworks during the grand finale? Or will they remember the visions and screams that echo in their heads repeatedly after witnessing their Ima being raped in front of them, as the beast even broke her pelvic bone before killing her, and the sounds of the barbarians beating their Abba in front of them? Trying to grieve the loss of their mother while being held in captivity, surrounded by the smell of death. The months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds that went by while being held hostage, never knowing if they would ever be released, while constantly being tortured and beaten. Wondering if their older brother Yaali, who was volunteering in the IDF in the north, and their family dog Nella were safe. Holocaust survivors know it all too well that those psychological and emotional scars will last forever, even with the most sophisticated of PTSD therapies and treatments. Throughout the Torah, God instructs us to be holy by observing and following mitzvot. We are to emulate and behave like God. The mitzvot that we are commanded to do govern our relationships with others. They are designed to preserve the dignity of others. The primary mitzvot is that you must love the stranger as yourself. This mitzvot is mentioned 36 times in the Torah, more times than any other commandment. Relations between Be'eri residents and the Gazans were good. Brett Stevens writes, Be'eri was well known for its pro-peace sympathies. It had a special fund to give financial help to Gazans who came to the kibbutz on work permits, and the kibbutzniks would often volunteer to drive sick Palestinians to an oncology center in southern Israel. The residents of Kibbutz Be'eri were following God's commandments and preserving the dignity of the Gazans as commanded in the Torah. As the war enters 572 days, Israelis try to put their scars behind them and return to their communities. One such community is Halutza in the Negev, located on Israel's border with Egypt and Rafah and only 4.3 miles from Gaza. Halutza was founded by a group of families evacuated during Israel's disengagement from Gaza in 2005. They moved to this remote corner of the desert, which had never been inhabited or farmed, because they saw the development of the Negev as Israel's next national mission. Their 21st century pioneering spirit served as the engine to bring other new families to the region. For 2 decades, Israelis who live on the border have endured continual attacks from the bordering Gaza Strip, rockets, incendiary balloons, and more. The residents of these communities are resilient in the wake of October 7th attacks and their aftermath, returning home after being evacuated and looking for ways to stay strong and to restore their sense of safety and confidence amidst the challenges they face. They left behind their hopes and dreams, but their spirit was not broken. Another mitzvot mentioned in the Torah is Lo ta'amod al dam recha, meaning literally, do not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. One of the first lessons I learned when I converted to Judaism is that being Jewish is not a spectator sport. You cannot just sit by the sidelines. It isn't permitted to stand by and do nothing. This is why, after the events of October 7th, my husband Adrian and I began to help Jewish National Fund USA raise the critical funds needed for additional bomb shelters. One of the most important responsibilities of being a Jew is a sense of Jewish memory. Jewish memory is not just individual, it is communal. As a community, let us create meaningful memories out of those horrific times as we help our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael by building additional bomb shelters for the residents of Halutza, named the Middlesex and Monmouth Community Bomb Shelter. Won't you please join us in this wonderful mitzvah and support our campaign to ensure that they are protected? Adrian and I, through Jewish National Fund USA and donations from you, can make this dream become a memory of how we helped by building additional bomb shelters. We personally thank you all that have donated to JNF already. Bomb shelters provide protection from rockets that besiege families in the region, not only from Gaza, but as we witnessed from Iran last April. We have already raised $50,000 and built one, and I have brought a photo of the one that we have built. We have also raised an additional $28,498 towards a second one, and we need an additional $21,000 to complete the second one. Since 1901, Jewish National Fund USA has not only planted over 260 million trees, but continues to stand true to their passion, commitment, and vision for the future of Israel and the Jewish people. It remains clear and unwavering. A roadside shelter protects up to 15 residents with a real floor day or night. It provides essential shelter for residents when they are not near their safe rooms in their home, the park, the playground, the bus stop, or driving to work. The cost of each bomb shelter is $50,000, and they need over 200 more both in the south and in the north. I do not have to tell you how important Israel is to the Jewish people, nor do I have to explain to you that we haven't any friends out there. The UN, government officials, college presidents, college students, the media. And if you happen to stumble across a friend out there, they are exceedingly rare. Without a strong Israel, anti-Semitism will continue to rise even more, and every Jew worldwide is in danger. Since 1948, we have vowed to never forget. Having amnesia and betraying the survivors a second time is not an option. Jews do not have history, we have memory. While history is about what happened in the past, memory is about how that past drives our present and our future. It is all about action. That is why the verb that appears most in our prayers is zakur, zeker, zikaron. Remember, remember, remember. During the Passover Seder, we do not teach our children that our ancestors came out of Egypt. We teach them that each one of us must see ourselves as if he or she personally came out of Egypt. Our challenge as a Jew is, how do you take this collective memory as a people and make it part of our life? This is a moment to reaffirm our Jewish commitments. Kol Yisrael Aravim Ze Bazeh. The entire Jewish world is intertwined with one another. In this week's Parsha, Za'ariah Metzora, I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. I did good. Leviticus 12 through 15, God instructs the Jewish people on specific sacrifices a woman needs to bring in order to purify herself after childbirth. After a certain number of days upon the completion of her purity, she shall bring a sheep. But if she cannot afford a sheep, then she shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young doves, and she shall become purified. Adam Lieberman commented the following: an identical spiritual purification takes place whether a woman brings a sheep or can only afford to bring 2 doves. The Torah is teaching a powerful lesson. A person needs to give or offer commensurate with their abilities. When you do this, the identical process takes place. If you give or offer less than you're able to, then the cleansing process doesn't occur. Whatever meaningful amount you can donate will make a difference. After Shabbat, I ask you to log on to our webpage. We can ask Rabbi if he can send it out to you. I do have some flyers. You can drop or mail a check to the office or give it to the rabbi, made out to JNF USA. As I was writing this, the wildfires are raging across Israel, forcing evacuations in Jerusalem, in the north and beyond. Fire engines have been destroyed, and thousands of brave firefighters are on the front lines battling out of control blazes. The situation is serious and growing more dangerous by the hour. Fire and Rescue has been a task force of JNF USA. JNF USA has been with Israel yesterday, today, and they will be there for them tomorrow. If you would like more information on how you can help during the wildfires, I can provide it as well. Thank you to each and every one of you, and thank you to Rabbi Poland for sharing his bima with me this evening. Am Yisrael High.
Special thank you to JNF for providing the stipend for our meal this evening, for our falafel Israeli meal. Thank you for that as well. So in just a moment, we're going to turn to the Misha Berak prayer. Misha Berak prayer may be found at the very back of our Sidurians. And in just a moment, I'm going to be reciting names from our Misha Berak list. After the names have been read aloud, if you would like to add any names to our list, please do at that time. Today's Misha Berak list includes the following names: Miriam Mendel Ben Shira, Nachman Ben Malka, Alan Lewis, Esther Bat Ruth, Yehuda Ben Joseph, Russ Pineri, Ilya Ostraya, Emma Libros, Chava Bat Sarah, Janice Robbins, Janice Tananza, Shoshana Elana Bat Devora, Leslie Berg, Elaine Gordon, Jennifer Frunchel, Shimon Ben Abraham, Jerome Dowse, Yosef Ben Elka, Yeheskel Moshe Ben Rachel, Jason Koff, Amy Appleman, Asher Ephraim, Justin Legg, Yovet Zamos, Regina Pasternak, Eli Oster, Eileen Warner, Nick Rosala, Marcia Kaufman, Ephraim Ben Yaakov Virachel, Arthur Schneider, Adlon Levy, Connor Francisco, and of course we draw our attention to those who remain in Gaza hostages at this time. Are there any additional names anyone would like added for our list today?
Lori Hansen,
Lori Hansen,
Marianne Malka,
Marianne Malka,
and Sal Masucci.
Salma Suchi,
David Osnowitz,
David Osnowitz,
and Harris Saban.
Harris Saban,
Alice Boxer.
Alice Boxer,
Amy Appleman.
Amy Appleman,
Gail and Bill Mattress,
Gail and Bill Natras,
Jeffrey Stein,
Jeffrey Stein,
Aaron Evers.
Aaron Evers. Yes.
Gabriel Levesque,
Gabriel Levesque,
Saul Laurie,
Saul Laurie. Any, yes.
Alan Brodman,
Alan Brodman. Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
the Hockenberry family,
The Hockenberry family,
the Bloomfield family,
the Bloomfield family,
Frankie Barr.
and Frankie Barr. Are there any additional names for today? Okay. The words to the Misha Berak prayer may be found in the very back of our Sidurians. Misha Berak Avotenu Mekor Havrecha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berak Imotenu Mekor Havrecha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. They just made it. Someone is ringing at the door. Page 30, we're going to rise for the Aleinu prayer at this time. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol lateit gidula liotzer reishi shalo atzana kigiei aratzot velo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama shalo sam kalkenu kachem v'gor aleinu kichol hamonam v'anachnu korim umishkachim umotim lifnei melech Malchei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Sha'unetei Shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'moshiv yikaro b'shamayim mima'av, l'shchinatu zo, b'govrei meromim, Hu Eloheinu ein od, and b'malkeinu ef zulato, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והושיבותם אל אביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד. Page 31. We therefore hope in you, O eternal our God, soon to behold the splendor of your might. Then will false gods vanish from the earth, and the idols will be utterly cut off, to heal the world through the sovereignty of the Almighty. Then will all acclaim you as their God, and forsaking evil turn to alone. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, O eternal our God, let them humble themselves to your glorious name, let them give honor. Let all accept the yoke of your dominion, that you may rule over them soon and forever. For the dominion is yours, and you will rule in glory. As it is written, the eternal will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad. Ushemo echad. We remain standing for just a moment. We'll be turning to the mourner's Kaddish. For the mourner's Kaddish, I'll be reciting names on our Yortzeit list, as well as members of our community who recently passed. After the names have been read aloud, if you are observing a Yortzeit or in the period of Shloshim for a loved one, please share with us the name of your loved one, so that we as one community may pray for the elevation of their neshama to Shemayim above. Today's Yortzeit list includes the following names: Rhonda Levy, Louis Peck, Deborah Levy, Louis Bolstein, Sidney Richmond, Herman Finkel, Daniel Peller, George Ivers, Charlotte Aronson, Jeffrey Stephen Ziegelheim, Ed Lichtenstein, Steve Cutler, Bernard Belzer, Hetty Hires, Jack Silverston, Lawrence Leibowitz, Stanley Bloom, Morris Schwartzberg, Arnold Diamond, Theresa Shackman, Morris Kasdan, Ruth Lewis, Sidney Schwartzberg, Molly DeBrakis, Morris Friedman, Howard Katz. Recently passed from our community are the following names: Stephen Poland, Zangul and Motul Bashifra, Erwin Schwob, Ruth Lewis, Shlomo Lev Ben Vovel, Bruce Estrin, Francis Sayowitz, Phil Miller, Brian Leibowitz, Hirsch Poland, Cantor Mary Barron, Wendy Sansevieri, Ann Mushkel, Harry Roden, Sam Perlman, Gussie Blumenstock, Michael Berkowitz, Marcy Victor Banks, Christine Alana Scholar, Marissa Kofsky, Evelyn North, Betty Martin, Lenny Popper. Are there any additional names anyone is observing a Yortzeit for here today or in the period of Shloshim for?
Bob Bigos.
Bob Bigos. Darlene Robinson. Yes.
Eli Kaufman,
Eli Kaufman.
Tom Moore,
Tom Moore.
Lloyda Friedenreich,
Lloyda Friedenreich.
Julie Marks,
Julie Marks.
Lois Flamholtz,
Lois Flamholtz.
Lenny Preston,
Lenny Preston.
Gloria Tucker.
Gloria Tucker. Are there any additional names anyone would like to have added to our Yortzeit list or for period of Shloshim?
Lillian Block.
Lillian Black. Okay. If it is your custom, please remain standing for the mourner's Kaddish, which is found on page 33 of our Siddur Readings. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra pirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayekonu v'yoimekom, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yahei shmei rabbah mivarach l'olam olamei almaya, yitparak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah b'rechu, Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran v'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbamin shamaya, v'chaim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved, and let us say, Amen. You may be seated. We now have the opportunity for our announcements. of today.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Saturday, May 3rd, there will be no morning Shabbat services. Instead, we'll have a 4 o'clock p.m. service with the B'nai Mitzvah of Sadie and Jack Muskel. Conversion class Shabbat, May 9th, or Mitzvah of Jared North, May 24th. Hebrew School League service and strumming for Shabbat, May 30th. Blood drive, June 8th. Pride Shabbat and strumming for Shabbat, June 20th. Talking with the Rabbi is always on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. And May 13th is Circle of Friends, formerly Sisterhood Dinner. I want to thank everyone who came to the Yom HaShoah last Sunday. There were over 400 people in attendance, which is amazing. And our Rabbi and Avi were fantastic, really, really moving. If you did not get a chance to go, it is on video on the town YouTube channel. And also, we have a video that we could probably email to anyone who wants it. All right, anything else? Thank you.
So how many of you are familiar with how Yom HaAtzmaut is celebrated in Israel? Just a little short, go ahead.
Well, like
Some of the things we learned about just now, a few minutes ago, so I hope you retained and learned. What did we learn?
It's very festive.
Yes, it's a very festive time of year.
In the street.
Correct, you've seen it then.
Yes.
I can tell, because that's exactly what happens. There's dancing in the streets, there's music in the streets, there's food, there's barbecues, and so we're trying to relive some of that experience here in bringing our festivities to you. And we chose of all foods, what did we choose to bring? Falafel, a nice Israeli food. Also, it is very, very healthy. That's an added bonus. And if you are a vegetarian, it's also conscientious to that as well. So before we eat, we have one final prayer of our evening, and that is going to be Adon Olam. And you know what? I think I'm going to add one more to it, and that's going to be Hatikvah. I think it'd be very meaningful for us to end our service with that today. But before we turn to Hatikvah, we're going to first turn to Adon Olam on page 34 of our Siddur readings. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'Hefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nivra B'Yachad Rei Kilo Takol Levado Imloch No'ora Vehu Haya Vehu Hobet Vehu Yiyeh V'Tifara Vehu Echad V'Ein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehapira V'li Reishit V'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz V'Hamizra Vehu Eli V'Chaya Goali V'Tzor Chevli V'Yetzara Vehu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Beyom Ekra Biyado Akid Ruchi V'Yeti Shan V'Aira V'Im Ruchi Geviyati Adonai Li V'Lo Ira. Good Shabbos. We're going to rise at this time. We're going to turn to the flag of Israel. We're going to join together in Hatikvah at this time. Kol ba'leilach pedima nefesh Yehudi homiya ufalete nizrak kadima ayin lesion Sophia Olo avta tikvatenu Hatikva b'shnot alpayim liotem koshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion b'Yerushalayim liotem koshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion b'Yerushalayim. Shabbos, everyone. Good Shabbos, Yom HaAtzmaut Sameach. We're going to join for our Kiddush as well as for the Chamotzi. And then, B'tei Avon, as we say in Hebrew, we will be eating our food at that time. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.